Yes, now, bless now. There's Rocksteady King of the Pit TV. Signing in. We're going to learn a bit of history today, people. Classes in session. So, obviously, we checked out Urban Discipline on this channel. And I'm going to move on and listen to more Biohazard. So, what we're going to do is we're going to cover the history. It's Wikipedia. So, as always, if you got any disputes, if anything's incorrect, if anything you want to bring attention to needs bringing attention to, let Des know, alright? It's all about the comments, it's all about the engagement, it's all about the guns. Let's jump in. So, Biohazard is an American hardcore band formed in Brooklyn, New York City in 87. So, 87, obviously, Biohazard came to fame in the 90s, didn't they, really? As far as I know, as far as I'm concerned. 87 still seems relatively late for what I would assume they were doing. So they had a quite a big leap to getting mainstream, or what you would consider mainstream. They're one of the earliest bands to fuse hardcore punk and heavy metal with elements of hip hop. The original lineup consisted of bassist slash vocalist Evan Seinfeld. Bruh, so this Evan Seinfeld, yes! Evan Seinfeld is an American musician and actor, as well as a director, photographer, writer, and former graphic actor. Yes, now, when I saw Evan Seinfeld, I thought, where have I heard that name before? And I remember that reference before. So this guy went on to do a couple of dirty films. Guitarist Bobby Hamble and drummer Anthony Mio. Guitarist slash vocalist Billy Grez. I apologize, I'm not going to butcher your name, my man Billy. I think that Billy guy's been touring. He came over here not so long back, known as Billy Bio. Alright? And drummer Danny Schuler replaced Mio before the recording of their first album, thus solidifying the band's lineup from 88 to 95. After several lineup changes, a breakup, a 2008 reunion, and a 7-day period of inactivity, the classic lineup of Seinfeld, or Seinfeld, I don't know how you pronounce it, I don't know how you pronounce Graz's name, Hamble and Schuler, reunited in 2022 and announced upcoming performances in 2023. Man, if I was in Biohazard, I'd just play all the time. But then again, I only know Urban Discipline at this point, so I don't know where they went. So we've got the early years here. I've got a bit of background information. Genres: hardcore punk, rap metal, groove metal, crossover. Years active: 87 to 2006 and 2008 to present. Labels: Magnetic Air, never heard of them. Roadrunner, Big Dogs. Warner Bros, Big Dogs. Mercury, not heard of Mercury. What's Mercury? Mercury Records is an American record label owned by Universal. Boom! Big. King, never heard of King. Sanctuary, never heard of Sanctuary. Sanctuary Records Group Limited was a record label based in the UK and as of 2013 is a subsidiary of BMG Rights Management solely for reissues. SPV America and Nuclear Blast. Spin-offs: Suicide City and Powerflow. Anybody know those acts? Suicide City is an American punk rock band from Brooklyn, New York, founded in 2005. Okay? Never listened to them. Powerflow is an American rap metal slash nu metal band from LA. Never listened to them. Right. Early years. Biohazard formed in Brooklyn in 87, right? First demo released in 88 caused the stir. Let's have a look. We got the 88 demo is the first demo tape by American band Biohazard, released in 88. It's the only release to feature drummer Anthony Mio, who was replaced by Danny Schuler. Sorry, my man Danny. I'm rubbish with these names. For the band's second demo the following year, Infection Incoming. Quite funny, really. It caused a stir with journalists who felt that some of the band's lyrics displayed fascist or white supremacist views, overlooking the fact that both Seinfeld and Schuler were themselves Jewish. The accusations of racism in their music were denied by the group, but in later interviews, Seinfeld and Graz explained that it had been a publicity stunt to win over the band Carnivore and their fans. So Carnivore featured Pete Steele, didn't it? Pete Steele, aka the guy who writes some of the dodgiest lyrics of all time. Additionally, Seinfeld has defended the lyrics of songs such as Master Race and America as metaphors meant to gain the attention of listeners, and he maintains that the band was never racist. After the release of the first demo, Anthony Mio left the band and drummer Danny replaced him. A second demo tape formed in 1989. You know what? It's kind of bad because when it comes to hardcore music and, you know, the depth of information I've consumed in regards to hardcore over the years, you never hear any beef in regards to Biohazard ever being referred to as racist or anybody even commenting on that stuff. Nobody cares about that stuff. I mean, some big bands don't get away with it. They've always got that dodgy song in the catalogue which sort of hides in the background and still stirs a fuss. I've never heard of Biohazard sort of having that element to them. Although Biohazard did not present themselves as a hardcore band, they shared stages with groups associated with the NYHC scene such as the Cro-Mags and Aggie Front. They also shared stages with the New Jersey band Mucky Pup, and a friendship between the two groups developed. Never heard of Mucky Pup. Man, I'm learning a few things today. American hardcore and crossover thrash act. Bro, I never heard of Mucky Pup. Biohazard's self-titled debut was released in June '90 through Magnetic Air Records, and in spite of being poorly promoted, it went on to sell 23,000 copies in the US by '94, approximately 40 copies by 2001, that's 40,000. The album's subject matter revolved around Brooklyn gang wars, drugs and violence. 1 year after the release, Seinfeld and Graz contributed vocals to the song Three Dead Gophers from Mucky Pup's third album. Now, the record was released on Roadrunner, who would soon issue Biohazard's second album. Now, that goes to show how ignorant I am, because I assumed that Urban Discipline was their debut album. So let's have a little deke in regards to some factoids on the debut. I've never even seen the artwork before. No one seems to talk about this record. The intro to the song Retribution is from the movie Godfather Part 2. The song's Wrong Sides of the Tracks and Hold My Own were re-recorded for Urban Discipline. Survival of the Fittest. There's a war going on outside no man is safe from. You can run but you can't hide forever. Cool. There's like no information on the self-titled, so we're going to move on. In '92, Biohazard signed with Roadrunner and released Urban Discipline, which gave the band the national and worldwide attention in both the heavy metal and hardcore communities. The video for the song Punishment became the most played video in the history of MTV's Headbangers Ball, and the album sold over 1 million copies. The band also began opening for larger acts such as House of Pain, Sick of It All, Fishbone and Kyuss. In '93, the hardcore rap group Onyx. What makes them hardcore rap? Hardcore hip-hop is a genre of hip-hop music that developed through the East Coast. It is generally characterized by anger, aggression and confrontation. It's like gas music. It's like temper tea. Clear out your things in the fridge. Smash! Recorded an alternate Bionics version of their hit single Slam, with Biohazard as their backup band. This led to a collaboration on the title track Judgment Night soundtrack. The soundtrack to go and sell 2 million copies in the United States. Bada bing, bada boom. Right, so let's have a look at Urban Discipline, shall we? Because I'm familiar with this record at this point. We don't have too much info, to be honest. Urban Discipline is the second studio album by the American heavy metal band, so at this point they've gone from being a hardcore to a heavy metal band, right? They signed the major contract now. Released on November 10th, 92 by Roadrunner Records, the intro to the song Punishment is from the '89 film The Punisher, starring Dolph Lundgren. Dolph's gone through some hard times from what I've heard, so get better soon, my man Dolph. He did the Ivan Drago, didn't he? Rocky. If he dies, he dies. A remastered edition featured bonus tracks, was released in 2007. Critical reception. In 2005, Urban Discipline was ranked 277 in Rock Hard magazine's book, The 500 Greatest Rock and Metal Albums of All Time. What does that mean? Don't mean much to me. Production. Shout out to my man War and Tears. Who else has he done? He's worked on Sonic Youth, Helmet, Dinosaur Jr., White Zombie, Quicksand, and Albatross, bruh. I had a couple of Ant Albatross numbers on my iPod back in the day. What happened to that band? I never heard anybody ever reference that band. Anybody know the band Arsonists Get Older Girls? That was another one, man. I thought that was the coolest band name ever when I was a bloody edgy kid. I still am an edgy kid. So yeah, there we go. What more can be learnt, people? That's as far as the history as I'm concerned, because I've not gone on to their third record yet, which is State of the World Address. I am looking forward to it though. If anyone's got anything to say, leave a comment. If not, we'll continue on moving forwards. Peace and love.